Has the situation improved at all since our last session?
No. We had to give our budget presentations last week. I had all these charts printed up showing how we lowered our per impression costs while expanding reach and increasing site traffic. And you know what the CFO says to me when I'm done?
All right, rough cuts for all 3 client videos are done. So what we're doing here is explaining for the day job using the analogy of wine. And so I want to have an animation of wine pouring into a glass. But I need to know how to actually make that animation.
Then we're going to add a trim path. Here under trim path, we're going to add keyframes on the start and end. Here at the start, we're going to keep the end value 0%.
After some trial and error, I think what we have works. So, I've got this version, but because this is going to be an Instagram short, I feel like it starts too slow. I'm thinking of flipping it where the text comes first and then kind of the numbers come in afterwards. Let's try it. I think I'm gonna go with this version where the text comes first. The reason I'm doing all this is gonna run as an Instagram reel. I want to get stuff on the screen for the viewer to look at as soon as possible so I can grab their attention, and then it's just a matter of holding it. But if I don't grab their attention in the first place, there's not anything to hold. So plan was I was gonna deconstruct this image to then render it into 3D space, basically set different layers so I could have a virtual camera move through it. That was assuming this illustration already was set into layers, which it's not. It's stuff exactly like this that made me want to get into visual effects in the first place. I really like the vibe videos.
Yeah.
Where it's just like, Andrew's making grilled cheese. Let me get some shots of this. Mm-hmm. Or like, what I'm doing right now with, we're having this conversation. I'm looking at the bees. Let me just get a shot of the bees while I'm sitting here and we're having this conversation. It's just, I don't know what any of that amounts to. I guess it's like if someone challenges themselves to like paint something every day, how do they figure out what it is to paint that day? Like, is it just, well, part of that challenge is like now each day you have to go about finding something to paint? Or is there ways to kind of know how you're going to figure that out for the day?
Mm-hmm. It reminds me when I went to the Picasso Museum, because I got really inspired because it was just all of his work. There were little sketches, drawings, pen drawings, paintings, all different kinds of stuff. And it was just, when I was in there, I felt like it was just so evident how he just created.
Mm-hmm.
And because he produced so much, it wasn't just about like, I need to create this thing and I need to do this. It was like, I'm gonna fuck around, I'm gonna do this. And then from that, there's probably ones that he really liked. There's obviously ones that people really like and are drawn to. But it just showed his creative process and how it was just about, okay, I'm sitting here at this cafe and I'm just gonna write. So he gave himself that time just to play on the page or on the canvas without an expectation that it was going to be something.
Yeah. So maybe that's what it is. I just need to figure out how to create that time. Of course, this right now is making time to think of what it is that I want to make for the short today. And so then I thought of this freaking thing. I don't really like it, even if it's just going to be one shot and like the audio could be garbage. I still think it's like pretty cool.
Yeah.
But I also don't know, like, okay, so I really like this, what I'm doing right now. How do I develop like a consistency with that? Because like yesterday it was, well, I want to like make this like little 3D animation thing. Taking just like a 2D image, breaking it up in order to like have a 3D camera go through it. And I really like the process of actually making that little animation. But having to vlog it felt like a chore. Like if I had it my way, I think the vlog for yesterday would have just been that animation. But that animation doesn't make sense. Like if it's just like today the vlog is me having this conversation and you know the bees out there, like, and then tomorrow is just some random like animation of a vineyard and that's it. Like what the hell? So if I were to like have the animation be like what I made for the day, I would want it to feel of a piece with this. Same as like if the vlog for the day is you, me, and the cats on the couch watching a movie, to have that feel of a piece with all of this. And like in so many ways it feels way too fluffy to be like, this is my art. Or like I want to make art every day.
You feel like
with
you're
the
back
vlog.
at NYU.
It just feels so pretentious. But that really is what I want the vlog to be like, to be making like some kind of art out of the day.
Right.
I just want there to be a consistency to it.
Like a connection, do you mean?
Like, so that when I stitch them all together,
Yeah.
It's like, okay, these make sense, even if they are like very different. But that they're like, that they can be taken in context with one another.
I think you need to decide whether you want to continue to make yourself make a video every day.
Right. I like the idea of sticking with a daily video because it forces the habit, and also like in some ways mitigates the potential for me to like overthink the creativity of like, oh, I gotta wait for inspiration to strike or anything like that. Even though like everything I'm saying right now is like, I get sick of having to wait for inspiration to strike. So
Yeah.
maybe it is just like I actually really just do need to have my camera, a camera around at all times, and like be thinking about making a video all throughout the day, which is kind of like when I used to write fiction. Like I was at a notebook and I was
Right.
always jotting shit in it, like even just like random lines that would pop in my head because I was just like,
You were in that creative flow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and so I am with the videos because like again we were sitting here talking and then I was just like looking at the views and was like, oh, that's an interesting shot of like
Yeah.
us having this conversation, but the camera being focused out there. And so maybe it is just like, this is the process, like the good and the bad.
Kitchen. She like playing cool. Like playing it cool.
Maybe.
Oh, good job. Good job. Good job, Cal. You got it. Way to go. You got it.